if I could burp, I would burp, but I don't know how to burp. So that was the perfect moment for a burp, but I don't know how to do that. So. So here we are, you guys. Week 9 recap, which means I'm 8 weeks into my journey, almost halfway there. So August 27th through December 27th, as you guys know, is my weight gain phase. And then January 4th, that first Monday of 2021, it's go time. It's time to go back to fit. So it's almost Halloween. And I've survived the first 2 months of this journey, and they've been hard as hell. They've been really humbling. Even though I did it 10 years ago, I kind of knew going into this one what to expect, but now that I'm here, it's way harder than I remember it being. Even though I have so many other tools at my disposal and I'm older and wiser, it is still freaking hard. As you guys know, you've seen my recaps, you've seen my journey up until this point, you've seen the struggles I've had, you've seen the struggles I've had with my girlfriend, you've seen the struggles I've had with just the emotional and mental side of this whole journey and this transformation. It's been really hard. So this past week, I was a vegetarian for a week, and I had tons of mac and cheese, tons of pasta, tons of like rice or bean and cheese burritos, tons of like nachos, cereal, soda, chips, cookies, crackers, everything that doesn't have meat in it. So it was 100% vegetarian, but did it the dirty way of doing it and ended up gaining almost 2 pounds this week on the scale. And then my waist and my hips didn't expand too much. It was just like a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. But I'm still growing, and my expectation from here on out is I'm not going to have any more 14-pound weight gain weeks on this journey, or 7 pounds. It'll probably be between 1 and 4 pounds on average for the rest of the journey. Just because my body's adapting to what I'm doing. Unless I eat bump it up to 10,000 calories a day, which is going to be freaking impossible for a week straight. And then you'll see like a 10-pound weight gain. But I don't think I'll be able to do that. I'm suffering, I'm struggling right now, just eating 6,000 calories a day. So the Dirty Vegetarian week was actually pretty fun. I didn't miss meat a whole lot, to be honest with you, like I thought I would, because I'm stuffing my face with mac and cheese and bean and cheese burritos, and can still have my Cinnamon Toast Crunch and my Dr. Pepper and all the unhealthy food just without the meat. Cheese pizza, had that 3 days this week. So I didn't miss any foods. There's still tons of comfort and junk food in the vegetarian category. But I didn't gain a ton of weight. And actually the interesting thing about my body fat percentage is that people are kind of confused because my body fat percentage actually went down, and I totally get why it's confusing. And that's why, first of all, the measurement that I'm using, the in-body, isn't 100% accurate, first of all. It's just a tool of measurement of change that I'm consistently doing once a week. So there's gonna be fluctuations in it. Maybe I was more dehydrated or more hydrated compared to last week. It's hard to know exactly what the issue was. But if you take the mean, the average of the past 7 weeks before that, and you put it on a chart, and you kind of draw a line through the middle of it, you'll see an average gain per week, and that's about 1% body fat gain per week. So if you look at it from that perspective, last week when I was vegan, I went up 2.5%. So that was kind of an anomaly, if you will, or that should have caused concern to go up from 1% on average to 2.5%. And then this week I came down 0.6%. It's still on track to average the 1% gain per week over the history of my journey. So don't freak out just based off of 1 week's results, whether it's the scale, whether it's the body fat test, or whether it's the measurement. So I'm still on track to still gain. I'm at 18.9%. That'll continue to rise, I'm sure. So I don't want people thinking, oh, Drew did vegetarian this week and his body fat went down. I'm going to go start eating mac and cheese pizza, and maybe my body fat will go down. Because I promise you that's not the case. The last week was probably an anomaly, going up 2.5%. So don't put too much emphasis on that, the number that day. Look at it over the course of a month or 2 months or 3 months. It's hard to breathe. But anyways, from a mental and emotional perspective, this week was one of the hardest weeks. So this week was freaking hard because when I get stressed out over life and things are going bad for me, like let's say I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend and we break up, which happened this week, I kind of crawl into a shell. I don't like to do anything. Like I had no motivation to do Facebook Lives, or I had no motivation to post on Instagram, or no motivation to respond to messages or emails or phone calls or text messages. I kind of honestly just became a hermit a few nights this week where I just, for 3 days straight, and I didn't have my daughters either. So, I felt lonely. I really did. I felt lonely. And I just sat at home, watched football, watched movies, and just kind of distracted myself with substances like food, which is kind of part of my journey. So it's easy to just chug some soda and drink a beer and, numb the pain, if you will, slightly. And so I did that. And this is me finally talking about that, because I didn't jump on Insta stories when I was sad. I didn't do these Facebook Lives like, hey guys, I'm going through this breakup. Like, it was freaking hard.
Drew, and I, we had therapy on Monday. Started with therapy, which was a really good thing, I thought. But turns out maybe Drew didn't get quite what he needed from it. And afterwards, things just weren't resolved. Things haven't been getting resolved. And Drew actually asked me for another break. Let's take another break, 2 days. And I said, no. I'm not doing that again. And I said, you need to decide now. I pushed him to decide before he was ready. I said, you need to decide, are you in or out? And he broke up with me. I never thought that would happen. But he did. I've thought about it over and over, and I really don't think we would have gotten to that point if it weren't for Fit2Fat2Forty. I don't think Drew, in his right mind, happy, peaceful state, would have just called it quits. And it didn't take long for him to realize that that was a mistake. And I said, the second he said that, you're making a mistake. I know it's a mistake. You know it's a mistake. But this journey has just been like nothing like I thought it would be.
We've since met since then and kind of come up with a new boundary for us, for our relationship. So rather than breaking up, we decided to stay together, but it looks different, where we're kind of taking a step back, where we're not spending as much time together. We're spending less time with each other, and there will be less expectations on how we expect that person to show up. So there's not as much pressure on that person, so that it's a little bit, it's almost like survival mode.
I don't know. I've thought to myself a couple of times, is it really worth it? I mean, I know it is for Drew, because I know that this is his purpose. But at what point do you say, okay, I set out to do this journey and now it's ruining my real life, my personal life? It's affected me, and it's affected us so much more than I thought it would. So, so we're gonna keep trying and not live together. And I think one of the hardest parts for me was talking to the girls about it, mainly Kalea. And she's a little bit worried. But the truth is, Drew and I are just exhausted. We've been trying our best, for sure, without a doubt. I know he's doing his best, I'm doing mine, and we're just really tired. So hopefully a little bit of space will help us figure it out. Hopefully this will help give Drew a little bit of clarity. I know what I want, for sure, but I think he just doesn't know how anything is going to unfold anymore. How and when, and it's like we can't even think that far ahead right now. So I'm nervous about the next 2 months. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we'll just keep chugging along.
Like, I have 2 more months of this, doing what I'm doing. I know after these 2 months, I'm going to be a different version of myself. I'm going to be happy and more energetic and more outgoing, and put more effort into a relationship. Right now, I'm just putting so much effort into this and then I don't have the energy or the motivation to get flowers, or the motivation to write a love note, or whatever it is that she would appreciate. I know that I'm not going to be this version of myself forever. I know it's going to be temporary come January. So we're kind of just in this survival mode of like, all right, here's our new boundaries. We're just going to get by this phase, and then things should improve once the old version of me comes back. You know, I got Halloween coming up this weekend, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. And then once I get through Christmas, my birthday is the 27th, and then from there it's go time. So that's the way I view it. The way I see it is like, this isn't going to be forever. And I'm just counting down the days, minutes, and seconds until January 4th. So thank you guys. Cheers to, well, it's not the weekend yet. Cheers to Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? It's Tuesday. Cheers to Tuesday. All right. See you guys next week. Have a good one.